We interrupt your regular programming for a quick message. Unfortunately, some copyright holders don't know what is fair use. Just to clarify, reviews can use footage of the thing that they are reviewing, and it is fair use. Thank you for listening to this public service announcement. Don't copyright strike me. Welcome to this review of Konosuba. Yes, very meta to make any content on this, but this show is amazing and one of my favorites, so I have to review it. Konosuba is a comedic take on the fan service, otherworld, OP guy gets all the girls type of show, like Sword Art Online, Campione, Death March, In Another World with My Smartphone, and a lot more. What I love about this show is that it recognizes the cliches of the genre and does a comedic twist on them. The main character, Kazuma, is much more relatable than protagonists of these other shows, since he's not a godlike hero. He's just your regular neat pervert with not much else to add except his high luck skill. All the other characters could be incredibly strong, but they have huge glaring flaws, like Aqua, the useless alcoholic goddess, or Darkness, the masochist crusader who can never hit her target, or the lolly mage Megumin, who only uses explosion magic and faints whenever she uses it. The plot isn't unique at all. It's very generic, kill the big bad demon king, but what makes it great is the characters recognize how this is near impossible for their garbage party to do, so they toy around with the idea of becoming rich and hiring strong adventurers to come and defeat the Demon King for them. The animation is the only thing that I can really give criticism to. It's fairly bland and stays the same most of the time, though how they show the characters' emotions in simplistic or overly done ways is pretty hilarious. So, after this little intro thing, we can delve deep into it, so spoiler alert, I guess. So, the show starts with Kazuma leaving his house to buy a game, seeing a girl about to be hit by a truck and goes to save the girl. Turns out it was a tractor going at a slow speed, and Kazuma dies of shock, thinking he got hit by a truck. Next, he is brought to a room where a goddess is laughing at him, where he gets another chance of life in another world with the goal to defeat the Demon King. He also gets to take a perk, quotations, with him to the other world. He takes the goddess Aqua with him. Aqua and Kazuma learn how useless they are in the other world and have to resort to manual labor and living in a stable. During this time, they gain two party members, the explosive Mage Lolly and the masochist Crusader Darkness. Together, their party goes around defeating the Demon King's minions and end up in pretty hilarious situations. Now that we have this little recap out of the way, we can get to the actual review of the show. As I already said, the plot is pretty simplistic and cliche, but it's executed in a good way, making it an enjoyable story to follow. Not too much to say about the plot, though. Next, the animation / visuals. Animation is pretty generic, but not bad at all. Megumin's explosions are always very satisfying to watch. The most notable thing is the way that they show emotion sometimes with these overboard faces or simplistic faces, depending on the emotion. Like this or this. Again, not a lot to say about this. So, characters. Kazuma was a NEET who isolated himself from society before coming to the fantasy world. As the anime progresses, he becomes much more social and outgoing, but also grows more pessimistic, realizing that the life of an adventurer is a low-paying and light-threatening work. Kazuma is sarcastic, cynical, and blunt to everyone, especially his party. Kazuma is attracted to Megumin and Darkness, but sees Aqua more of an annoying sister. Kazuma is described by his party members as being reliable at critical moments and a good leader. Megumin. Megumin is a 13-year-old girl who is very straightforward and a very hyper girl. She has chunibyo, whatever that word is, tendencies. Yes, Megumin has very little self-control and has to cast explosion magic every day. Darkness. Darkness is a beautiful woman from a very rich family. While she does lots of heroic things, they are usually because she is a complete masochist, and that is what ultimately drives her. Very few things make Darkness genuinely uncomfortable, except being called by her real name, La Latina. A prominent ability of Darkness's is that her accuracy with a sword is horrible and misses almost always. Aqua. Aqua is the former goddess Kazuma brought from heaven to help him. Aqua is described as beautiful by others except Kazuma. Aqua is high-spirited and cheerful, but rarely thinks of consequences of her actions. Aqua's spells are extremely powerful, such as Sacred Turn Undead, Sacred Create Water, God Blow, which only works sometimes for some reason, and Resurrection. And finally, the humor of the show. This is what makes Konosuba stand out from other animes. It is possibly one of, if not the most funny anime of all time, utilizing many forms of humor which make the viewer always stay engaged in the show. As for the final rating itself, I'd give Konosuba a 8.5 out of 10. A very fun and enjoyable anime for anyone. Of course, knowing the cliches that it's based on make it more... Wow, congratulations. You watched the entire video. Anyway, if you want to follow me on Twitter or Twitch or join my Discord server, the links will be in the description below. That's all. Have a nice day.